Hello world, and welcome to another round of eRegs demos. This week we are demoing work done with alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives with the 18F eRegs team. Sorry, I just had to mute my other channel, and let me share my screen now. There we go. This is Sprint picking up on work that we did previously with alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, where this is our second engagement with them. And we are demoing the work done for the last 2.5 weeks. We started just after the July 4th holiday. I'm Will Sullivan, product lead for eRegs team, and this is our bi-weekly sprint demo where at 18F we work in the open and everything we do is open source and shared. So to follow that, we record these demos and post them on the internet for different agencies, partners, public figures to see what we're working on, what we've learned, and to share that out with the general open source community. So with that, this presentation and discussion will be recorded. You can share it at the same URL if you want to go back and rewatch it. Feel free to do that. It will be live and the link will stay the same. And with that, at the end, we will also have a time to call into a conference line to share thoughts and collect feedback on the work that we've done. And with that, we will jump into the demo. And I will toss to Micah, who's going to rock the whole presentation pretty much.
Thank you, sir. I will share my screen here. And if anyone cannot see my screen, feel free to ping me or let me know. But yeah, so like Will said, it's been about 2.5 weeks with this. We did a little kickoff and warm up with research. So as the dev team is working on a lot of the underpinnings and bringing things up to date, research has been kicking into full swing. So that started off with Carolyn, our team leading a session with the leadership and stakeholders at ATF about what the whys as to the top of our items, the items that we are addressing. So getting at the heart of what, if this fails, what would happen? It's a success if, for the user, this happens. So it kind of could help us frame the questions as we began talking with candidates. So we began doing that this week. We did some recruitment, was part of the first week. Well, the first part of the week was actually that exercise, and then we began the recruitment towards the end of that week. And then we've been doing interviews this week, and we've had 4 internal candidates. There's actually more scheduled for next week, so we're kind of spilling over into the following week with ongoing research, with 2 more scheduled for next week at least. The total synthesis for all of these is still to be done, but I wanted to make sure to kind of just share some of the fantastic insights. And I just want to pause and say it's been amazing to talk with all these individuals, and I'm not just buttering it up. It's really, really insightful, and it's amazing to see so much institutional knowledge. And the candidates ran the gamut from people of decades of experience to someone who had just started this week. So and that is fantastic because it gets us to the point where we can ask blank slate kind of questions. And there are fantastic insights. We were kind of focusing our insights around 2 parts. The right-hand sidebar where rulings are, and I'm sorry, I didn't bring up I just realized now at this moment that I don't have a screenshot of what we were doing, but in the application on the right-hand side, we were testing around related elements there, and we we're also testing around print capabilities. So great insights. 2 real bullet points around those are all the things in the right-hand sidebar. So there's a lot of desires to see more, have more, and I'll get into some of those quotes in a moment. And around print, most users we found could print within the browser capabilities, so they would use, and I'll get more into those details with some quotes. So here are some quotes about the right-hand sidebar. I'd like to see all the rulings at the same time. This seems too confined and confines me only to one section at a time. And this was a common theme that we were seeing, that people felt like there was more that needed to be there, more things needed to be represented, and not just parts of things that related, but all of the things was similar. And now again, I do want to emphasize that I'm not working off a synthesis. I'm working off literally fresh interviews and some of the insights that bubble to the top. We still will be doing a synthesis at the end of next week after we conclude at least the 2 more interviews that are in this round of research. So I just want to again reiterate that this is just initial bubblings, more so than anything finite in any way, shape, or form. But we also saw that, we also heard people say, if we're putting rulings up there, they should all be up there, and then going back as far as we've got them, the public needs to know that. So it was fantastic to also hear internal users really thinking not only as this as a tool for themselves, but a tool that was helping the public and informing any kind and all kinds of users. There was times with folks with deep institutional knowledge where we were trying to phrase the questions of how would someone who doesn't have your knowledge, how would we know that they're, how would you know, or how would we as a group know that they're compliant? And there was a lot of great insights around that as well that we saw. So around the right-hand sidebar as well, have the rulings chronologically and have all of them along with Q&As. And then I tagged in and forms because that came up a little bit later too. So it was more, and as some of our intuitions saw from our initial kind of exercise, that it is, I don't want to say validating it yet, but I want to say we're seeing some of those things that we are having our users validate. Again, I want to iterate that these are internal users. We're still hoping to get a couple external users as well to have some of that information. Moving on to the print insights, we asked people, do they print or do they use a print version of this? And most of them are referred to the books, the orange and white books, I believe is the phrase, that they had. And then so I probed a little bit further as if you wanted to print off what you were seeing here, like this subpart or something along those lines. Everyone, I shouldn't say everyone, all but one looked around for a moment and they said, well, in this case, and then to quote this person, to print, I would right click and print preview. And then I asked about if you needed a PDF version of this, like if you were going into a situation where you were going to be offline and didn't have access and you needed a PDF version, what would you do? And this individual said, I'd right click and convert page to Adobe. We had some other folks that expressed some concerns that if this was the only method I had to access this information and needed a paper copy, it'd be a real pain to have to print each one of these regulations separately for the field. I'd want to print all the regulations without having to print them separately. And again, I just want to reiterate, these are just bubblings to the top. This isn't a synthesis or actionable items yet. We're just kind of confirming some of these things. There was one individual that was not able to print or not able to do that. They said they would probably just highlight all the items, copy and paste it into Word, and then print it from there. There were other candidates that was able to right click or use the tools menu and get to able to print it, but not always able to preview it. So there were some mixed findings around some of that, but in general, when I prompted someone to print, the things that were bubbling to the top is that people could figure it out with the browser tools as well. Again, this is just small insights into vast notes that we have around these great candidates. And again, there's more to come for next week. But at this time, this is what I have and to bring back to the team. So now I'll turn it back over to Will.
Okay, excellent. So with that, we will jump ta-da, to a quick demo. The next demo will be August 4th. We're going to jump onto the conference call, and that will not be recorded into the presentation. But this will be a chance for everyone to provide feedback, ask questions, talk further about what should be the next goals for the next 2-week sprint, which will conclude on Friday, August 4th, where we will do another demo just like this, recording and showing what we're working on. You can also look at our channel and see all of the other videos and projects we've done, or on GitHub, github.com/18f/ATF-eRegs, and check out the code and fork it and do all sorts of fun stuff. So with that, we will dial in now, and you can go ahead and close this YouTube channel. I mean, start dialing the number, don't or write down the number and then dial in. but you don't need the YouTube stream to be open. We're all going to call into this number, and we'll just have like a conference line to chat and share feedback. And I will keep this up for a couple minutes just to let people dial in, and then we will close and talk on the phone line. Thank you all, and see you on the count.